for Vanderbilt. We'll have much more on that as the night goes on. Jeffery Taylor, the senior, who had a huge performance here after a slow start Thursday. John Jenkins, Tinsley, season-high 16 points. Goldborn and Sheen Gang. Bob, talk about the big change here. Your thoughts?
Well, I watched him out here in warm-ups, and we both did. He looks fine to me, so I don't think it's an injury situation. Might be a discipline thing. If he doesn't play, it takes away scoring, rebounding. He's the leading shot blocker in the history of the school. Sheen Gang is a very good athlete and big, but not near the player Ezeli is.
Meantime, for Wisconsin, this is how the Badgers will start tonight. Taylor with Gasser, the sophomore guard, Ryan Evans, Brusewitz, and Jared Berggren, who broke a Wisconsin tournament record with 7 block shots on Thursday night. And there's Bo Ryan, 11th season in Madison, a winning percentage of .728. No stranger, Bob, to this stage of the tournament, and trying to get to the Sweet 16 for an 11th time as the head coach of the Badgers.
He's done a remarkable job at Wisconsin. Before him, of course, they did have a program. Bennett took them to the Final Four in 2000, but he has been remarkably consistent in his winning since he's been the head coach in Madison.
So again, a big story here. Festus Ezeli, the senior center, not starting. As we heard the report from Jamie Maggio here moments ago, Stephen Sheen Gang will make his 13th start of the season, the Cameroon native, one of 6 seniors on Vanderbilt's roster. And this will be the story that we will continue to monitor as this game goes on.
Sheen Gang will be guarding Jared Berggren, the 6'11 center, number 40 right here, who can shoot outside.
Berggren among the best shooting big men in the country. So here's Vanderbilt now, their victory over Harvard, 79-70, their 25th win of the season Thursday night.
Calling card for the guys in the white uniforms, stellar defense. Only allow 52 points a game. Vanderbilt is going to try to free number 23, Jenkins.
Shot clock at 5. Here's Tinsley. Head fake, got Evans to bite. And there's that Wisconsin defense that we have heard so much about and saw here firsthand Thursday. Just a fascinating watch tonight to see how they deal with Jenkins.
I'm really looking forward to it too, Spiro. What we saw on that first deal was they are switching screens. So if Bo Ryan figures that he can stay with Jenkins better by switching, I don't think he'll worry about size advantage or disadvantage.
Wisconsin, the 4 seed, beating Montana here 73-49 Thursday, their largest margin of victory in their tournament history.
Swing offense puts big guys outside and small guys inside. Interchangeable parts on offense for Wisconsin.
Ryan Evans, the junior Phoenix native, on a turnaround fade and gets Wisconsin on the board. It's 2-0.
Terrific game the other night against Montana. 18 points. He only averages 11. Nicely done.
Well, really hitting his stride at the best time of the season, obviously. 13th straight double-double with those 18 points. Here's Jenkins in the corner. Maybe the most space he'll get tonight.
You know, Wisconsin's defensive reputation precedes them, and sometimes that can play with the head of the opposition.
This is Mike Brusewitz, again, another big man who can shoot, stretch out the defense. Evans from the outside. Well, he picked up where he left off Thursday. Had that incredible start, and he's hit for Wisconsin's first 5 points.
Had 11 points in the first half in that game against Montana on shots just like that. Wisconsin has a bad rap about a team that holds the ball. So far, we shoot them pretty quickly in the shot clock.
Jenkins, nothing but twine. What a shooter he has become in his career. And boy, it started early for him. His freshman year, people in the SEC will recall 48% shooter from downtown.
Who does he remind you of? Little Curry?
Steph Curry, yeah. The touchdown the other night. Yeah. As Wisconsin, Bob, again, there's so much talk about the defense. It's been offensive to some people who cover this team. But boy, they have looked awfully good here offensively the last game and a half.
No doubt about it. And they're getting their shots early. Switching defense is their mantra.
There's Taylor inside, and an offensive foul on Taylor. Has been such a skilled all-around player for Kevin Stallings. And here comes Festus Ezeli. And the big story tonight is Ezeli not starting. Steve Cheengang making his 13th start.
Well, those are his numbers against Harvard. The best thing is the right-hand column where he had 4 blocks, did have 11 boards. This guy is really a terrific player. Now, the question for him, I don't think it was any kind of injury situation, probably a discipline thing. Can he guard Berggren all the way out at the three-point line? That's a big question in this game.
Wisconsin now 4 for 5 here at the start as Mike Bruzewicz hits from the baseline. And it's 10-2, make it 9-2 with 16:39 left to play in this first half.
Wisconsin averages 64 points a game. They get a bad rap because occasionally you'll see a game in the Big Ten where the game's in the 40s, something like that. But usually that's because the other team has to go so deep into the shot clock to get a good shot against their switching defense. Fewer possessions.
Here's Taylor. Good look at a 3. The rebound by Jordan Taylor. And here comes Wisconsin. Vanderbilt has missed 3 of its first 4 shots. And the Badgers, as we mentioned, 4 for 5. Here's Evans. Shoots over Odom. And Evans headed to the free throw line. A guy last year, Bob, who averaged less than 3 points per game, has become such a key member of this team at both ends of the floor.
No doubt about it. Unbelievable improvement by this young man. From 3 points a game all the way up to 11.
Well, watch every 2012 March Madness game live on your computer, iPad, iPhone, or select Android phones with NCAA March Madness Live. Visit ncaa.com/March Madness for more information. Substitution by Bo Ryan. First look at Rob Wilson, the senior, Cleveland native, checking in. Exactly the kind of start that Bo is hoping for. Up 8 with 4 minutes gone by.
Wilson was seldom used until lately. Had 30 against Indiana in the Big Ten tournament.
Ezeli trying to back down his man in the second offensive foul called against the Commodores. As Vanderbilt on the ropes early here. Wisconsin scoring on 5 of their first 6 possessions as they built an 8 from his JV high school team. And just a couple of years later, he was All-State in Arizona. Unbelievable.
And he redshirted here also, so played behind some good players like John Lohr. Probably learned a lot from him. Last year's star of Wisconsin's team.
Early turnover, one of the few mistakes that Wisconsin has made.
Earlier in the year, Wisconsin played North Carolina and only had 4 turnovers in the entire game. Little miscue right here. Unusual happening for the Badgers.
Substitution by Kevin Stallings, Kedron Johnson, the freshman, and Tennessee native checks in for the first time. Here comes Jeffery Taylor down the paint, misses off glass. Festus Ezeli puts it in. Ezeli coming off the bench tonight. If you've just joined us, a coaching decision by Kevin Stallings, as reported by Jamie Maggio. And right here it shows the impact that he's expected to have.
Well, it certainly wasn't a leg injury because he got up pretty quickly on this one, repetitively. 2 jumps in a row. This guy is 6'11", 265 pounds. He is a terrific player. Played behind Ogilvie. Remember the Australian player that played for Vanderbilt a number of years ago? Last year was the most improved player in the Southeastern Conference. He is a big part of this team.
Vanderbilt's all-time leading shot blocker cuts the Wisconsin lead to 5 points.
I'm surprised that Taylor is not guarding Evans. Taylor's the best defensive player on this team. They've got him on Jordan Taylor, which makes some sense also.
Evans against Goldborn with 13 to shoot. Another bad pass, second straight Wisconsin turnover.
After the timeout, Kevin Stallings talked to his team about tightening up on the defensive end, and they have done it. Last 2 possessions have been very aggressive. That's what you want. There's certainly a team that plays good defense, having beaten Kentucky, so you've got to play some good D. They started the game pretty passively.
Looks like Ezeli fouled on the catch. And Bob, in some ways, you almost had to expect Vanderbilt to exhale a little bit with all the recent history, losing one and done in the tournament. They finally break through and a chance tonight to get to the Sweet 16. John Jenkins talking about the team finally turning that corner and exercising some of those demons. But a shaky start, and here they come. As Taylor misses everything underneath, and Wisconsin will get it back.
Well, you're right, because what happens in the first game, there's so much pressure on the higher seed to win. Frequently, it causes nerves, and they got by that very nicely in their first game. And, of course, right here, not a good start, but that's a credit to Wisconsin, not anything that Vanderbilt's not doing well.
Frank Kaminsky comes in for Wisconsin. First time tonight. Here comes Jordan Taylor. Outside to Bruzewicz from 3, and he puts it in.
Made 2 from that spot on Thursday evening.
Here's Keydron Johnson trying to answer. Rebound taken by Kaminsky. We come up on 14 minutes to play first half. Wisconsin with possession and an 8-point lead. Jordan Taylor will slow things down, still 20 to shoot.
This is a 6'11" player handling the ball out here. Dribble handoffs.
Here's Kaminsky wide open. Every one of these bigs can shoot. It's remarkable. Officials say it belongs to Vanderbilt.
Speaking of big guys shooting from the outside, there's Bruzewicz knocking his in. Nice pass by Jordan Taylor. And the reason that Jordan Taylor can penetrate into the lane so much is because the big guys are out by the three-point line. So the guys who are good penetrators, they don't bump into any help when they go into the lane.
Officials change the call here. Wisconsin will throw in with a fresh shot clock. And 13:47 left before halftime.
Let's watch to see how high the big guys get. Look at this. Everybody's outside the three-point line now, right? All 5 players.
Kaminsky, the Illinois later to Gasser. Now Wilson from deep. And Ezeli clears. There's Lance Goldborn, too strong off glass. Rebound Kaminsky. So Vanderbilt just 2 of 8 here at the start.
Kaminsky getting big minutes early. He didn't get this much against Montana.
Barely got off the bench in that game Thursday night. Wisconsin looking awfully comfortable offensively here at the start. They're 5 for 9. There's a whistle blown here against the Commodores.
Hard drive on the baseline. Not much space to go anywhere, but a little push. Taylor doesn't like the call.
And that's Taylor's second. A huge call against Kevin Stallings and company. So he has to sit.
First team all SEC is Jeffery Taylor in your picture right there. And also the best defensive player on this team. Wisconsin's hard to defend. They spread you out. Guys can take it off the dribble. Big guys are popping out. Unusual team. Russ, number 1 in the game, has a reputation as a shooter.
Here's Brust on the perimeter. Out to Evans. 15 to shoot.
Right guy right there with the ball.
Evans against Jenkins. 5 to shoot. Bruzewicz. Ezeli another rebound. So Wisconsin has cooled off somewhat after that hot start. Jenkins buries the 3, and he's headed to the free throw line.
You talk about a quick catch and shoot. If you trail, forget about it. Light touch on the hand is just as much a foul as a hard foul to the body. Bo doesn't like it.
Jenkins now 1 3-pointer away from tying an SEC record for most threes in a season. Shane Foster's mark that was set back in 2008. Jenkins now with 134 in his career. Wisconsin's lead down to 4. We come up on 12 to play in this first half.
Bo Ryan has to be thinking, is he going to do something special on Jenkins?
Evans the fake underneath for Bergeron. Over the top of Chiengang, and he gets the friendly bounce for his first 2 points.
Don't be fooled by Berggren's appearance. 6'11". He's got a 33-inch vertical jump and one of the faster guys on the team. He is very, very athletic.
Jared Berggren plucked out of a small high school conference in Minnesota by Bo Ryan and his staff. Jenkins a little bit short, rebound by Brust.
Berggren, another one of those guys who's improved dramatically. Still only 3 points a game last year. Very similar to Evans. His role has enlarged dramatically with the departure of Moore and Nankerville.
Wisconsin again very patiently looking for their shot. Jordan Taylor on one of his first looks. There's Tinsley from the top of the circle, and here comes Vanderbilt.
You gotta love it. Fireworks on offense. Tinsley 16 the other night. Second all-time in assists at Vanderbilt.
That tied his season high. 7-2 run for the Commodores, and a traveling violation. Greg, thanks. The Racers right back in the thick of things. Winner of that game advances to Thursday in the Sweet 16. They'll take on the winner of Florida and Norfolk State.
Well, Greg mentioned Isaiah Cannon. He was a freshman on the team that beat this Vanderbilt team when Murray State Denaro Thomas hit a shot at the buzzer that sent Vanderbilt home early.
Well, first time Vanderbilt has advanced in the tournament since 2007. That Murray State memory so painful, among others, for the Commodores. But here they come after a quiet start. Outside jumper off target that time by Dejon Parker, the freshman from Baton Rouge. If you just joined us, Wisconsin jumped out to a 10-2 lead. Hit 4 of their first 5 shots. But Vanderbilt now starting to get comfortable. And Bob, interesting, they've done it with Jeffery Taylor, the best all-around player on the bench, with 2 personals.
Yeah, and he's going to sit probably for the entire half. Vanderbilt does have some depth. Tinsley and Jenkins are going to have to score more with Jeffery Taylor on the bench.
Shot clock at 2. Taylor knocks in the 3, barely beating the 35-second violation.
Well, he said, you keep talking about Jenkins, I can make some threes also.
Taylor, the senior.
He is so, so good. And what a leader. You watch him in practice. Everything goes well because of him out there.
Jenkins shadowed by 2 and 3 defenders. Here comes Chiengang. 10 to shoot. Tinsley against Taylor. Right down the paint, and is called for the offensive foul.
3 charges on Vanderbilt in this one. Help side defense ever present. This one, I gotta say, is a combination of skill and luck. Long, long, long. He was sitting in the lap of Kevin Stallings on that one.
Well, this is his last hurrah. Jordan Taylor, the senior. He and Ryan Evans, Bob, the only players in the Bo Ryan era to end their Wisconsin careers without a Big Ten title. Talked about the devastation of that, and so much riding on the outcome of this game and just how far they can go before they move on.
Indeed, and the fact that you
whoa! Vicious right-handed dunk by Berggren. He's got 4 points.
There's that 33-inch vertical for the 6'11" player. But what you said about them not winning a Big Ten championship, that's pretty amazing that he's been there 11 years and every guy who was a senior had been in a championship of some kind. That's remarkable consistency in winning.
Just a testament to Bo Ryan. And a remarkable 11-year run. Jenkins, well, it looked like he was lobbing initially for Zealy. Rolls off, and Evans clears. Badgers have it up 8. 8:20 to play before halftime. Spiro Ditas, Bob Wenzel, Jamie Maggio from Albuquerque, Taylor from way outside, and a rebound by Goldborn.
Gossard, number 20 from Wisconsin, has not had a shot yet.
Zealy fouled. He'll head to the free throw line. Zealy trying to get comfortable after coming off the bench. A coach's decision by Kevin Stallings.
Little action on the baseline. The help comes. Easy finish. Nice spin move right here by Evans. Isn't that nice? They share the basketball, man. You know, of their baskets in this game, remarkably, most have come with an assist.
Reminder to get exclusive in-game video highlights, up-to-the-minute scores and stats from all NCAA March Madness games online at ncaa.com. Well, Thursday, kind of a ho-hum day. No big surprises in the tournament. Different story yesterday. Duke, Michigan, and Missouri all knocked out.
Unbelievable that two number 2 seeds were knocked out in the same day. Got to give it to Lehigh, boy. That's C.J. McCollum. Nobody on Duke's team could guard him. Jared getting a little bit of a blow.
Ezeli's free throws make it a 6-point game. Under 8 minutes to play before the intermission. Evans against Odom. Kaminsky. Offensive rebound. Evans picks up the loose change and finishes.
Leading rebounder on the team. Right place, right time. He's playing great.
Evans with 10 points. Second straight game he's gone for double digits in the first half. Here's Tinsley, the senior Oregon native, fires from straight away. And with an off-target rebound, Kaminsky.
We got a lot of players with the green light to shoot threes from deep in this game, both teams.
Vanderbilt struggling offensively as Evans is called for a travel. Vanderbilt, Bob, just 4 for 14 shooting. Wisconsin, our game summary. 7:03 to play here, first half in Albuquerque, with the winner advancing to the Sweet 16.
Ryan Evans playing great. He's got 10 points. He hasn't missed a shot yet. That's why Wisconsin is ahead. And this is what the Vanderbilt Commodores have to do. Set some staggered screens for their best player. Jenkins is in the corner. He's going to come to the top of the key. His man is going to have to try to fight through 2 screens. Keep an eye on it. This is nearly impossible to defend. The shot at the top of the key he made and was fouled. They are only 4 of 15 in the game. They do need to do a little bit more of that staggered screen play.
Jenkins is 2 for 5. The rest of the Commodores just 1 for 10. And Jenkins now 11 points shy of breaking Vanderbilt's single-season scoring record, set by Billy McCaffrey. Since 1993, that mark has stood. There's a whistle blown here against the Badgers.
Jeffrey Taylor is coming back into the game now, Spiro. So this is an interesting thing for Kevin Stallings. Now, Taylor is a very experienced player and should know how to play with fouls. But it is risky to have a guy in there with 2. And if he picks up his 3rd, then his minutes in the second half will be really diminished.
You were a gambler as a head coach. Got to respect that decision by Stallings. Vandy nearly turned it over.
Jeffrey got it. Immediate impact as soon as he got in the game.
Jenkins will reset. Now he'll fire. It's put back in on a hard two-handed dunk. Festus Ezeli. Five points for the Nigerian-born center. At 3, a little bit short by Berglund. So Wisconsin's lead cut to 6 with 6 and change to play. Tinsley off glass. It's a 4-point game.
That was a thing of beauty. Brad Tinsley, 6'3", senior. Normally the guy who's trigger, but he's scored over 1,100 points in his career as well.
Commodores down by as many as 8. They've hit 2 of their last 3 shots. And now Wisconsin trying to answer.
Jeffrey Taylor's not guarding some of the top players because they don't want him to get his 3rd foul here.
Jenkins inside. Evans is there, and it's the 4th offensive foul charged to Vanderbilt tonight. It's the 1st on Jenkins.
Vandy trying to make a run without Jenkins. This is emphatic. Ezeli at this end. Watch him coming after this. That is a thing of beauty. And then the other side, Tinsley, nice softly off the backboard. Everybody getting involved now. That's what they need.
So 5:33 to play, first half. Both coaches continue to shuffle players in and out. Jordan Taylor will slow things down for the Badgers. Taylor so far just 1 for 4 shooting, 3 points. Here's Bruzewicz from the outside. Gets the friendly bounce. And Wisconsin pushes to a 7-point lead.
No fast breaks in this game for Vanderbilt, which they would like to run. Wisconsin getting back quickly, taking charges. It's part of their defensive prowess.
Jeffery Taylor, the senior, won a high school state championship in this building 4 years back. Ezeli trying to hammer it down again is fouled. And now the physical play starts to ratchet up between these two teams. Foul charge to Bruzewicz, his first. Well, Bob, you gotta love this. Making him earn it at the free throw line. The officials conferencing now towards center court.
Well, on the play, Ezeli threw his arm out and knocked Wilson to the ground. And I don't know if they're talking about that as the foul previous to the foul by Bruzewicz. Let's take a look at this. You couldn't see it, but you saw Wilson go to the ground. And that is a very, very hard foul right there.
Right across the face of Ezeli, right through that neck area. Of course, nothing intentional, but still a dangerous play. As the officials now will put the headset on and look at the replay. Our officials here in Albuquerque, Les Jones, Don Daly, and Anthony Jordan, as we take another look.
Well, he's going after the ball to me on that play. I don't think that should be any kind of flagrant foul at all. You want play to be aggressive, especially in the NCAA tournament. An emphasis preseason. Right there you see the push off. That could have been a foul, but it was not called. And Bruzewicz, I think, clearly was going after the basketball right here.
Our amazing crew here in Albuquerque has every angle covered. Officials still looking at the replay, trying to determine the outcome of this play.
The nice thing is we have these super slow-mo cameras that you don't have all the time in games. It's a very positive thing for the officials. I was talking to them about that. They love this because they can see it in slow motion and see what actually happened much more clearly.
Officials looking at the same replays that you are at home. Another look, it's Bruzewicz coming across the front of Festus Ezeli. Clock stopped at 4:57 to play in the first half. Vanderbilt down 7. They have trailed by as many as 8. Both teams have 6 team fouls. And we'll get the explanation right here. Officials looking thoroughly at the contact from both players. Bob, what's the explanation you got?
Well, exactly what you were saying. No foul on Ezeli on the push-off, and just a regular foul on Bruzewicz. Nothing flagrant, no intentional, nothing. So good hard play by both guys.
So Ezeli will have 2 free throws. Ezeli again, a big story tonight, as reported by Jamie Maggio, coming off the bench, a coach's decision by Kevin Stallings. He's got the bulk of the minutes since coming off with the reserves.
He missed games early this year, had a little bit of a knee tweak, and then had an NCAA suspension for a few games. And I think that threw them out of whack a little early. Vanderbilt was rated number 7 in the preseason poll this year. And now I think they've hit their stride. The game against Kentucky and now playing in the NCAA tournament, they're playing their best basketball of the year now.
It was their highest preseason ranking since 1965. Shocking victory over Kentucky to claim their first SEC tournament title in 61 years.
Jenkins is on Evans. This is a mismatch in favor of Evans.
Jenkins charged with the foul just as Evans made his move. And that's Jenkins' second. So both he and Jeffery Taylor with 2 personals and 4:38 to play. What do you do here for Kevin Stallings?
I leave Jenkins in because the offense has been a problem, and he's normally a guy, but what you do with him is you put him on somebody like Gasser, who hasn't taken any shots in this game, to try to protect him. The two guys you mentioned are first-team All-SEC performers this year, Jeffery Taylor and Jenkins.
Evans can't convert the 1-and-1, so the Badgers lead at 6 points. As he missed on the second, here comes Goldborn rolling down the paint, foul from the back. Badgers screaming for a traveling violation. But it will be Goldborn to the free throw line with 4:24 left in the half.
Very nice cut right here. They have a point. Good foul. Had the basketball, hit him with his body a little bit. Goldborn averages about 9 points a game. Does a lot of the dirty work for this team.
And that is the second personal on Evans, so he will sit for Bo Ryan.
And he's been their best offensive player in this game and was terrific against Montana on Thursday as well. Foul trouble is part of the game, and you have to coach around it, and players have to play around it. Some guys are pretty good at playing with 2 fouls in the first half, but in a one-and-done situation in the NCAA tournament, sometimes you do some things as a coach that you wouldn't do normally in a regular season game.
Bruzewicz against Jenkins. Jenkins playing with the 2 fouls. Bruzewicz can't finish, a scrum underneath. Bodies flying all over the place. Looks like Jordan Taylor's in some pain, clutching his right elbow. The possession arrow favoring the Commodores.
He goes down hard on this. 8 guys in the paint battling for the basketball. Guys on the floor, and he goes hard down. That'll give you a stinger in your elbow, and you'll lose feeling sometimes in a situation like this.
Well, these players on a big stage tonight, pushing their bodies to the limit. Both of these teams 25 wins coming into tonight, battling it out for the right to advance to the Sweet 16 and a date with Syracuse Thursday night in Boston. Offensive foul again against the Commodores. It's the 5th time. Oh, some of the beautiful pictures here on the high desert inside the pit. It's Wisconsin leading Vanderbilt by 4. The winner advancing to the Sweet 16. 5 turnovers committed by the Commodores, Bob. 4 of them coming on offensive fouls.
Well, weak side defense is the name of the tune. Wisconsin is very good at this. Big guys coming off their man, stepping in on driving guards, sacrificing their bodies. And there's 2 good things about taking a charge. Number 1, you get a foul on the other team's player, and then you, of course, increase the foul totals, and you get the ball. Sometimes with blocked shots, they're much more dramatic and exciting, but sometimes you don't get the ball back on a blocked shot. You know, it's a loose ball and somebody gets it. So in terms of percentage plays, taking a charge is better than a blocked shot. Not as exciting, however.
Well, Bob, we expected an evenly matched game, and so far that's what we've had. No real surprises here. 4-point game with under 4 minutes to play in the first half. Officials say jump ball. Wisconsin will retain with the shot clock at 15 seconds.
Driving into traffic, not a good thing to do. People right where they should be for Vanderbilt. Parker got that.
Gosser throws way into the backcourt to Jordan Taylor.
Jordan Taylor should try to take Jeffery Taylor on the move here.
Jeffery playing with 2 personals. Jordan short. Offensive rebound by Berggren. John Jenkins on the Vanderbilt bench with 2 personals of his own. Here's Berggren. Going glass over Ezeli. 6 points for Berggren.
I like that center matchup in this game. Ezeli's a good shot blocker. Berggren's a good athlete.
Tinsley on a pretty drive, but Ezeli couldn't finish.
Both teams are getting back very, very well, covering their own basket. Not a lot of fast break situations in this game.
First time these 2 teams have ever met. Wisconsin out of the Big Ten, the at-large bid. Vanderbilt, the SEC tournament champion. Berggren up everything but the finish that time. The rebound by Parker.
No double on Berggren. That's a very good thing if you're Vanderbilt. You guard a guy inside without having to double. You don't give up threes.
Parker, the head fake. Bruzewicz, Peyton Parker finishes. first Vanderbilt field goal in nearly 4 minutes. And if you're Kevin Stallings, you have to be pleased with some of the issues that they've had shooting and with the personals. Only down 4 points.
Especially with John Jenkins on the bench. Berggren's getting a little carried away right here. He's taken the last 3 shots. He's only made 1 of the 3.
Here's Tinsley. Got it. 7 points for Tinsley, the senior point guard. And Vandy has cut it to 2 points.
Had 16 against Harvard. High percentage shooter. A guard who shoots 47% from the field, 40 from 3. Tinsley understands with Jenkins on the bench, he's got to score more.
Berggren turns the corner and he's headed to the line. It's on Tinsley. Berggren showing the arsenal. He's got 8 points. And Wisconsin's lead back to 4.
What has gotten into Jarrett? He's taken the last 4 shots for his team. Two inside shots, a 3, and a drive to the basket.
Foul on Tinsley is his second, so 3 of Stallings' starters have 2 personals. Tinsley, Jenkins, and Jeffery Taylor. Tinsley, at least for the moment, is still on the floor. Reminder to keep track of the other games around the tournament. A good one over on CBS. Murray State leading Marquette. 3-point game with 7:12 remaining there. As things continue to heat up around the country. 1:26 to play. First half in Albuquerque. Which a good one continuing there between Murray State and Marquette on CBS. Winner of that game will take on Florida. Norfolk State. Those two will meet in Omaha tomorrow.
How about Florida benefiting from some upsets? You know, that's always an interesting thing. We pay so much attention to the 15-2 upsets. Then you start wondering about who's going to play that team. Who's going to play Norfolk State? Who's going to play Lehigh? Those are kind of emotionally charged games when you're playing one of the Cinderellas.
Now the bracket busting has begun with some huge shockers yesterday. Jeffery Taylor misfires on the 3. Both teams struggling from downtown.
Wisconsin has been in love with the 3 in this game, and that is typical of their game. 13 of their 25 shots, make that 14 of their 26 shots, are from 3-point range.
Basketball belongs to the Commodores. Wisconsin now just 4 for 14 from deep. Reminder coming up, the AT&T at the half report from our studios. Scores and highlights and the latest NCAA tournament news. It's all coming up on AT&T at the half.
Jenkins is back in the game right now, and they need his scoring desperately. Only 25 points with 58 seconds to go. Bo Ryan's team defensively has taken charge. They have done a very, very good job so far on Jenkins as well. He's only got 6 points in this game.
Kevin Stallings rolling the dice. 3 of his star players all playing with 2 fouls. Jenkins was just knocked to the floor. Jeffery Taylor and Tinsley all with 2 fouls and all still on the floor.
Juggling going on by Kevin Stallings. In and out offensive defensive substitutions, as you see right here. You don't want Jeffery Taylor in the game on defense where he's more liable to pick up a foul.
Vanderbilt in the bonus, so 1-1. You expected Jenkins to have to work a lot harder for his scoring tonight. 27 here on Thursday against Harvard. But a far different set of circumstances against the #1 ranked scoring defense in the country under Bo Ryan.
He's going to come out if he makes this free throw. And there he goes. You cannot afford to have him pick up his 3rd on defense. So Odom at 6'9" comes in. Much more dispensable player in their rotation.
Odom, a sophomore, born in Central Islip, New York. We're down to 40 seconds to play here in the half.
Terrific game. Well played by both teams. Lots of interesting things going on.
It was as intense and physical game as we expected. Wisconsin up by as many as 8. But their lead has been cut now to 3. Here comes Bruzewicz diagonally to the block. It's stolen by Johnson. Vanderbilt there. Fast break opportunity. Goldborn inside. And the officials say blocking foul. And free throws for Goldborn with 15.7 left in the half.
Spiro, this is a restricted arc play. If we have it, we'll show you the mechanics of the official on this. He points to the restricted arc after he puts his hands to his hips. Look at the side of your screen. Wow. He is outside the restricted arc. When I was watching, it looked to me like Anthony Jordan pointed to the restricted arc as if he thought the defensive player was in there.
That, of course, is not a reviewable play.
No.
So the free throws for Goldborn as we take another look.
Well, we know he was outside of the restricted arc. Look on the left and see what the official with the bald head does. He comes in, he gives the sign for a block, and then watch. He will point at the restricted arc. He's pointing at it. That means in his mind, that was the use of the restricted arc. Help side player. Once he's inside there, it's a foul on the defense.
The delay here, centering around a wet spot right at the free throw line as we take another look at the play.
But clearly, Jordan Taylor was outside the restricted arc. So occasionally the guys make a mistake.
Well, Vanderbilt nearly called for their 6th offensive foul of the game. But they get the break here. And Bob, that wasn't even close.
When they made contact, he was clearly outside.
Well, they say the ball don't lie. Goldborn misses the first. Steven Chiengang will come in. Festus Ezeli will sit. Ezeli 8 points, 6 rebounds. After coming off the bench to start this game, a surprise that was announced just minutes before the game. 10 seconds to play. Here comes Jordan Taylor, the second-team All-American. Magical finish with a right-handed scoop. 5 seconds. Kevin Stallings will take a timeout. Jordan Taylor, 5 points, just 2 for 6 so far.
Practice going to be in the entire 20 minutes or his normal second half. Jeffery Taylor back in, which is good.
Jamie Maggio moments ago.